Do 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 do. I take my pole and I put it in, give it a shove and we begin. She starts out quick and she picks up some steam. We're moving right along and we're going upstream. We're going upstream. Yeah, 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 going upstream. Your mother told you never stand in a canoe. But listen to me, son, you can't stand up and have more fun going upstream. Yeah, 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 poling upstream.
I feel really at home out here. I think that's probably what sets the Allagash apart. Been to every site, but I know just about every rock. And at all the different water levels, can almost picture just how long it takes to go from one place to another. And there are a lot of beautiful rivers. Well, the Allagash is a little more of what I'd call home. For most folks, it does feel wild. It's a new discovery to them. You don't know what's around the next bend. If you were here 200 years ago, there were men working in the forest, dropping trees into the river, doing log drives and sawing up logs. It's a working forest surrounding the Allagash region, which is why it's still as close to wilderness as it is. And I think it's just a level of wilderness rather than what one might call pure wilderness. Quite a bit of the woods up here. When white man first came, I understood a lot of it. You could drive a covered wagon right through the woods. There were a lot of big pines, big, clear underbrush, not a lot of slash and blowdowns. It was a hunting ground for the Penobscots and other the native tribes that mostly lived along the coast. And there was spruce and fir still, maple and birch and such, but the pines were predominant. There are home movies my grandfather took from the 50s. Movies of them pulling 22-inch and 26-inch lake trout out of Eagle Lake, one after another. That's a day gone past. Now you can still find a few in the lakes, but now the tasty little brook trout are the fish of choice, and if you can get yourself a 16 or 18, maybe 20-inch brook trout, they're some of the best eating up there. The 20-foot Old Town wood canvas guide model that I currently use was one that my grandfather purchased for around $300 in the 1950s. This canoe I'm using now has been used for probably close to 100 Allagash trips, I would say. I never get tired of going up there. You never know what you're going to see, and because I see something every trip, something new, something different I've never seen before. We've hung on to the traditions of control and technique used with the wood canvas, which is the same as the old birch bark canoes that were taught by my grandfather. We still teach those to folks as we paddle the rivers now. I think when I was younger, I drove people pretty hard. My grandfather drove people hard, and they would be hollering up to, when are we going to stop for a break? And they'll say a couple more miles, and we'd keep going, and it'd be a couple more miles, and then they ask, and you say a couple more miles. I have him to thank for a lot of things. It's not just part of the tradition, but part of the right way to paddle a canoe.
When this ignites your rope, when it melts on you.
There's a river right there. I can always put the fire around.